So in this video, ang i-discuss ko ay reactions of alkanes, specifically the free radical substitution reaction, okay? As well as some reactions of cyclopropane. So, bago ako mag-discuss ng reactions ng alkanes, I'll discuss first the concept of exchangeable hydrogens and equivalent carbons. So what are exchangeable hydrogens? So these are hydrogens that can be replaced during a free radical halogenation. So meron tayong example dito, this compound, okay? You can see this, okay? Yeah, ito yung compound. So makikita natin na meron siyang iba't ibang types of carbons, okay? Sa iba-ibang types ng carbons na yun, meron tayong iba-ibang availability ng hydrogen or meron presence ng different amounts of hydrogen. So for example, in this area or this carbon, there are 3 exchangeable hydrogens because that is a primary carbon. Kapag primary carbon, meron kang tatlong hydrogen doon. Okay? Dito naman ay quaternary carbon, so 0 exchangeable hydrogens. Dito naman ay primary carbons din, so may tagtatlo rin siyang exchangeable hydrogens. Okay? So dito, sa part na to, this is a tertiary carbon and this is also a tertiary carbon. Meron tayong tig-isang exchangeable hydrogen. So ang tertiary carbon ay may isang exchangeable hydrogen. Okay? Tapos dito, tsaka dito, meron tayong mga secondary carbons. So kapag secondary carbons, nakakabit siya sa dalawang kapwa niya carbon, tapos may dalawa siyang hydrogens. Okay? So there are 2 exchangeable hydrogens per secondary carbon. So those hydrogens are exchangeable hydrogens. During the reaction, pwede silang mapalitan ng chlorine or bromine. Okay? At different probabilities. Siyempre, may iba-ibang reactivity itong mga exchangeable hydrogens na ito. So, nakadepende yung magiging distribution ng product doon sa reactivity ng hydrogen na yon, tsaka sa dami ng available or sa dami ng type ng hydrogen na yon. So, for example, ito, meron tayong tatlong primary carbon. So, meron tayong siyam na exchangeable hydrogens from the primary carbon. Okay? So, kahit mababa yung probability niya, magkakaroon pa rin kahit konti na product because of the amount of the available hydrogens. Okay? Ganun nakaka-apekto yung number of exchangeable hydrogens sa isang free radical substitution reaction. Okay? So, next concept is the equivalent carbons. Okay? So, what are equivalent carbons? These are carbons that will produce the same product upon substitution. Okay? So, sila yung identical carbons dun sa structure. So, ano ibig sabihin ng identical carbon sa structure? So, for example, we have this compound. This is a methyl cyclohexane. Makikita nyo na yung mga colors dyan ay representing the same hydrogen. So, for example, itong ating orange, okay? These carbons represented by the orange dots, the orange colors, are the same carbons. Kasi, halimbawa, nag-substitute ka dito, ang lalabas ay itong product na to. Okay? Pero pag nag-substitute ka dito, hindi rin siya mag-iiba. Ganito pa din yung product niya. So, ibig sabihin, this carbon and this carbon are the same carbons. They are equivalent carbons. Okay? So, ganun din dito sa dalawang to. So, kahit saan ka mag-substitute dyan, dito or dito, ito pa rin yung magiging product ng substitution. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, these carbons in green are equivalent. So, ano dyan yung walang equivalent na carbon? So, ito, this is a unique carbon. Okay? Kasi wala siyang katulad dyan sa structure. Kasi kapag naglagay ka ng substituent dyan, ang lalabas ay yung purple na to. Okay? So, walang ibang substitution site na magpo-produce ng ganitong product bukod dito sa carbon na to. Okay? Ganon din dito sa carbon na to. So, kapag nag-substitute tayo dyan, ang lalabas ay ang product na ito. Okay? So, that carbon is unique in the structure. Okay? This carbon is also unique in the structure because kapag nag-substitute ka dyan, ito yung lalabas. So, walang ibang carbon dyan na kapag sinubstitute mo, ganito rin yung lalabas. Dahil, ito lang naman yun. Because this carbon is unique. Okay? So, that is for the equivalent carbons. So, we have to learn how to determine equivalent carbons. Tapos, from those equivalent carbons, bibilangin natin kung ilan yung hydrogen nilang lahat. Okay? So, this is the same as knowing the number of types of carbons in your structure. So, in this particular example, meron tayo 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So, meron tayong 5 types of carbon. in the structure, or 5 equivalent carbons in the structure, or 5 kinds of carbons dyan. Okay? So, yun yung equivalent carbons. Okay? So, as a sample problem, papracticein natin kung paano magbilang ng mga equivalent carbons, and bibilangin natin yung kanilang mga exchangeable hydrogens. Okay? So, for number 1, the equivalent carbons there ay ito, tsaka ito. Okay? Kasi pag nag-substitute ka dito, pareho lang yan kapag nag-substitute ka dito. So, this is 1, okay, carbon. So, ilan ang exchangeable hydrogens sa mga carbons na to? So, since pareho silang secondary carbon, so tawagin natin tong type A. So, A, okay, meron siyang 4 hydrogens. Okay? So, let's change the color. Ito rin ay equivalent. Okay? So, let's call that B. Okay? So, B, the B are primary carbons. So, meron tayong a total of 6 exchangeable hydrogens. Okay? So, meron din tayong mga unique na carbons siya, like this one. This is a unique carbon. Wala siyang katulad dyan sa structure. So, let's call this C. Okay? The C is the tertiary carbon. So, meron siyang isang exchangeable hydrogen. Okay? Then, finally, we have this carbon. Okay? Although this is a primary carbon, this is not equal to B. Okay? We call this D. So, D is a primary carbon. Meron siyang 3 exchangeable hydrogens. D and B, or this B and this D, are both primary carbons, but they are not equivalent. Okay? So, ayan. So, next, number 2. So, meron lang tayong dalawang equivalent, or may dalawang types lang tayo ng carbons dito. So, ano-ano yun? Ito, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5 carbons are equivalent. Okay? Kasi kapag nag-substitute ka sa isa niyan, pare-pareho lang yung magiging product niya kahit saan ka sa kanila mag-substitute. Okay? So, let's call that letter A. So, A, okay, contains 5. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Since puro sila tertiary, may tigi-isa silang equivalent or exchangeable hydrogens. So, 5 exchangeable hydrogens. So, ano yung isa? Ito. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, let's call that B. Okay? So, B, okay, contains 5 carbons na puro primary. So, 3 times 5, 15 exchangeable hydrogens. Okay? So, number 2, the compound number 2 has 2 types of carbons. Okay? At taglima yung carbons na yon. Yung carbon na A, type A, tsaka type B. So, the letter system is just my classification. Okay? Wala naman talagang type A, type B na carbon. So, kinaklasify ko lang siya. Okay? Para mabilang natin kung ilan yung carbons. Okay? So, for number 3, tingnan natin to. So, these 2 are equivalent, di ba? So, this is A. So, then, since pareho silang primary carbons, okay, so, meron silang 6 available or exchangeable hydrogens. So, next, itong dalawa, okay, equivalent carbons din yan. Let's call that B. Okay, since pareho silang tertiary carbons, they have tig-isa na available hydrogens or exchangeable hydrogens. Yan natin 2 available or exchangeable hydrogens. So, next is this 2. Okay? So, hopefully, makuha nyo na yung pattern para ma-determine yung mga equivalent carbons dito sa structure. So, let's call this C. Okay? C is a carbon that is secondary. So, may tig-dalawang exchangeable hydrogens yan. So, a total of 4 hydrogens. Finally, we have this 2. Okay? Yung dalawang yan ay equivalent din. And they are both secondary carbons. So, let's call that D. So, D has 4 total exchangeable hydrogens. Okay? So, that's how you determine the number of equivalent carbons or the number of types of carbons in the structure and counting the available or exchangeable hydrogens for substitution. Okay? So, ang i-discuss ko naman ngayon ay reactions of alkanes, specifically the combustion reaction and the free radical halogenation reactions. Okay? So, for the combustion reactions, meron tayong dalawang types, the complete combustion and the incomplete combustion. So, for complete combustion reactions, dapat ang ating oxygen, yung amount ng reagent natin ay mataas. And this is initiated by a so-called spark or a radical source. So the spark would interact with the oxygen para yung oxygen nyo maging oxygen radical. The oxygen radical would then interact with the fuel to produce the CO2 and H2O plus heat, okay, due to the breakdown of your fuel into smaller parts, or nagbe-break yung mga carbon-hydrogen bonds and carbon-carbon bonds, kaya nagkakaroon tayo ng release ng heat. Okay? So the heat here depends on the chain length. So kapag mas mataas yung chain length nyo, pag mas maraming carbons dun sa alkane, mas mataas yung heat of combustion. Okay? However, increasing the branching given the same chain length would decrease the combustion enthalpy or combustion heat. Okay? So na-discuss ko na yan last time kasi pinakita ko yung iba't ibang isomers ng octane. Tapos I remember indicating the values of the heats of combustion. So bumababa yun kapag nag-i-increase yung branching ng mga isomers ng inyong octane. Okay? So predictable yung stoichiometry ng complete combustion kasi alam natin na sa complete combustion, CO2 and H2O lang yung napoproduce. So this is for open chain alkanes, yung CN, H2N plus 2, while this is for cyclic alkanes. Okay? So cycloalkanes, CN, H2N. So the stoichiometries are predictable. However, sa incomplete combustion, hindi predictable yung stoichiometry. Okay? Kaya hindi ako nag-balance ng equation. Kasi hindi natin malalaman kung ano yung distributions ng mga carbon oxides, like the carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, and even carbon. Okay? Wala silang definite amount. Nakadepende yon sa scarcity ng iyong oxygen. Kasi in this particular type of combustion, hindi abundant ang oxygen. Limited ang amount ng oxygen. The fuel is the one that acts as an excess reactant. Kaya, incomplete yung process. It also releases less heat. Kasi, the heat that, or some of the heat that is produced will be used by the reaction to further break down the alkane. Okay? Hindi rin talaga siya masyadong efficient as a process or as a combustion reaction pagdating sa pagbe-breakdown ng mga fuels. Okay? So, ang i-discuss ko naman ngayon ay free radical substitution reactions ng alkanes. More specifically, halogenation. So, halogenation through chlorine or the chlorination and halogenation through bromine or the bromination. So, magpo-produce tayo ng alkyl chlorides and alkyl bromides. So, ito yung dalawang halogens na i-discuss ko dito sa video. Okay? So, this free radical substitution reaction has 3 stages. Yung initiation, propagation, and termination. So, initiation step, okay, i-introduce natin yung ating halide, okay, or yung halogen molecule natin sa light or sa heat, okay, to be able to produce the high energy initiator or the free radical initiator. Okay, kailangan natin to kasi stable yung ating alkane. Hindi siya masyadong nare-react sa mga simpleng nucleophiles or electrophiles. So, kailangan natin ng mga matataas na energy na substrates or reagents. Okay, tulad dun sa combustion reaction. Dun sa combustion reaction, kailangan natin ng spark para ma-initiate yung formation ng oxygen radicals which would then react dun sa fuel. Okay? Dito naman, ito yung ginagawa natin. Magpo-produce tayo ng high energy bromine radical para mapunta tayo dun sa ating propagation step. Dun sa propagation step, ang nangyayari ay homolytic bond cleavages due to the radical reactions. So, homolytic bond cleavage. So, in this example, meron tayong propane. So, I chose to show the mechanism of the formation of the secondary carbon radical. Kasi, according to the trend, di ba, meron tayong trend on the stability of radicals. Tertiary radicals are more stable than secondary radicals. Secondary radicals are more stable than primary radicals. And the primary radicals are more stable than the methyl radical. Okay? So, this is the more stable radical that should form. Hindi yung primary propyl radical. Okay? So, in the propagation steps, continuous yung pag-produce natin ng mga radicals until such time na mapupuno na ng radicals yung ating system. So, pag marami na yon, magpupunta na siya sa critical point niya, which saturated na ng radicals yung system. Yung mga radicals na mismo, yung magpo-form ng bond, okay, through the termination step. So, nasa termination step na tayo. So, ibig sabihin, yung mga radicals na yan, nagpo-form na siya ng bonds para ma-eliminate yung amount or ma-eliminate yung mga radicals na nag-i-exist sa system. So, this is also called quenching. Okay? So, quenching is the removal of radicals. Okay? Self-removal siya ng radicals pagdating dito sa ating reaction. So, nangyayari, nagpo-form tayo ng mga products like this. Okay? The 2-bromopropane and the HBr, hydrogen gas, and sometimes nagpo-form tayo ng mga higher order or higher molecular weight na alkanes due to the formation, okay, of the bond from the propyl radicals in this example. So, nag-form tayo ng 2,3-dimethylbutane. Although, ito ay trace amounts lang kasi mababa ang mobility ng mga propyl radicals due to their size. Okay? So, ang expected product talaga natin ay yung 2-bromopropane. Nagfo-form siya sa propagation step tsaka sa termination step. So, maraming 2-bromopropane yung magiging product natin. Okay? So, let's compare the two free radical halogenation reactions, the chlorination and the bromination. So, in terms of the selectivity or the tendency to choose the type of product, okay, or the type of halogenation product in the reaction, so, bromination is far more selective than chlorination. So, bakit? So, bromination reactions tend to produce the more substituted product and it prefers the production of those products almost exclusively. Kasi, kapag meron ka halimbawang alkane na may tertiary carbon, secondary carbon, and primary carbon, almost all of your bromination products are tertiary alkyl halides or tertiary alkyl bromides. Okay? This thing is not true kapag sa chlorine. Okay? So, sa chlorination reaction, halo-halo yung products mo. Significant yung amount ng primary, secondary, at tertiary chlorination products. So, hindi siya ganun ka-selective compared sa bromination. This might be due to the stabilities of the tertiary carbon radical, secondary carbon radical, and primary carbon radical. So, meron tayong trend based dun sa mga huli nating lesson. So, the tertiary carbon radical is more stable than the secondary carbon radical, and the secondary carbon radical is more stable than the primary carbon radical. Okay? So, this trend in the stability might be the reason for the preference of the bromine radical towards the free radical halogenation ng mga alkanes. Okay? So, as an example, meron tayo ditong reaction, 1,2-dimethyl cyclopentane. So, kapag nilagyan natin siya ng bromine, almost all of your products will be tertiary. And the rest of this might be your minor product. So, maybe 10% or less lang yung magiging yield nitong mga products na ito, itong tatlo. 1, 2, 3, kasi sila ay either primary or secondary alkyl halides lang. This is a tertiary alkyl halide. So, almost all of your products or the yield of your reaction will be mostly a tertiary alkyl bromide. Pero hindi yan true kapag chlorination na. So, sa chlorination reaction, significant yung amounts ng iyong mga primary, secondary, at tertiary alkyl chlorides. Okay? So, hindi masyadong magkakalayo yung mga amounts nila sa yield. This is due to the relative rates of halogenation. So, ano yung relative rates? This is the speed of the halogenation process or the speed of the attack or the mechanism of your halogenation depending on the type of carbon. Okay? So, the ratio is primary carbon halogenation is to secondary carbon halogenation is to tertiary carbon halogenation rates. Okay? So, for chlorination, the ratio is 1 is to 3.8 is to 5. So, this means that the halogenation of your secondary carbon is 3.8 times faster than that of the primary carbon. However, dun sa tertiary carbon naman, 5 times na mas mabilis kaysa sa primary carbon halogenation. This is with respect to the primary carbon halogenation. Kaya siya 1 dito sa primary carbon. Okay? Sa bromination naman, the secondary carbon bromination is 82 times faster than that of the primary carbon halogenation or bromination. Tapos, yung tertiary carbon bromination is 1,600 times faster than that of the primary bromination. Okay? So, yung primary carbon bromination, it's the 1 here. And the tertiary carbon bromination is 1,600 times faster than the primary carbon bromination. Sobrang bilis ng bromination ng tertiary carbon compared sa primary carbon. Okay? This affects the yield of the alkyl halides. Kaya sobrang daming tertiary alkyl halides kapag may tertiary carbon dun sa iyong alkane. Okay? Kapag sa bromination reaction. Okay? So, what about multiple halogenation? So, kapag chlorination, pwede kang magkaroon ng monochlorination, dichlorination, and trichlorination products. This is likely. However, hindi yan very likely or this is unlikely kapag bromination na. Okay? Hindi na nangyayari yung multiple brominations sa isang alkane kapag sa bromination. Okay? So, ito yung illustration ng multiple halogenation. So, if this is chlorine, okay, the monochlorinated, dichlorinated, and trichlorinated products are possible. Pero kapag bromination, possible pa rin naman, pero very less likely. Okay? This is also due to the selectivity of your bromine. Okay? So, let's take a closer look dun sa relative rates of halogenation. Okay? So, na-discuss ko na kanina na this is based on the primary carbon halogenation. So, ibig sabihin lang yan, for example, sa bromination, 82 times na mas mabilis yung secondary carbon bromination kaysa sa primary carbon bromination. And 1,600 times na mas mabilis yung tertiary carbon bromination sa primary carbon bromination. Okay? So, the rate of halogenation increases with the degree of branching of the carbon. Of course, mangyayari yan dahil sa relative rates. Kasi kapag mataas yung branching ng carbon mo, mas marami yung secondary and tertiary carbons. Okay? So this degree of branching affects the relative rate of bromination. Okay? So direct yung proportionality nito or direct yung relationship. Increasing the branching increases the rate of halogenation. Quaternary carbons cannot be halogenated due to the lack of exchangeable hydrogens. Siyempre, kapag quaternary carbon, puro carbon ay nakakabit sa tetrahedral structure niya. And sa halogenation reaction, hindi naman tayo nakakapag-break ng carbon-carbon bond. So, it's not possible for a quaternary carbon to have an additional halide dun sa kanyang bond. Okay? So, nangyayari lang yan kapag tertiary, secondary, tsaka primary. Okay? So, the number of exchangeable hydrogens for every type of carbon in the structure affects the probability of exchange. Of course, this happens kasi kahit sabihin natin na mababa lang yung rate ng primary carbon halogenation, kung marami namang exchangeable carbons or at least maraming primary carbons dun sa iyong structure, okay, the number of exchangeable hydrogens of those primary carbons will affect the resulting yield of primary alkyl halides. Magkakaroon ka pa rin ng medyo maraming primary alkyl halides kung marami kang primary carbons. Kasi marami silang primary carbons na may tigtatatlong exchangeable hydrogens. Diba? Kapag ka primary carbon, meron kang tatlong exchangeable hydrogens per carbon. Kapag secondary, dalawa per carbon. Pag tertiary, isa lang per carbon. Okay? So we actually have a formula to predict the yield of the reaction based on the structure of your alkyl halide. So the percent isomer is equal to 100 times the relative rate of that carbon, specific carbon per carbon type, okay, times the number of exchangeable hydrogens of that specific carbon over the total of the products of the relative rates and the exchangeable hydrogens of all the carbon types in the alkane structure. Okay? So the percent isomer is the relative amount of alkyl halide type I. So kung ano mang alkyl halide yon, okay, this is how you calculate its percent yield. Kumbaga, ganito mo ipe-predict yung yield ng alkyl halide na yun. Okay? So this is an example on how you can use the equation to predict the relative yields of the monochlorinated and the monobrominated products of your alkane. Okay? So, kinolor code ko na siya. Okay? So, meron tayong 1, 2, 3, 4 types ng carbon dun sa iyong alkane. So, yung primary 1, okay? These are the primary 1 carbons. Tapos, yung primary 2, this is the primary 2 carbon. Okay? Magkaibang primary carbons yan. Magkaiba silang type ng carbon sa structure kahit pareho silang primary. Okay? So, this is the tertiary carbon in that structure. Unique siya. And we also have the secondary carbon. Okay? So, meron tayong 4 na types ng carbon dun sa alkane. Okay? And yung isang doon, yung primary 1, meron siyang dalawang equivalent na carbons. Okay? So, ang gagawin natin, bibilangin muna natin yung number of carbons per type. So, may dalawang primary 1, 1, 2. May isang primary 2, okay? May isang secondary, may isang tertiary. The number of hydrogens, bibilangin din natin. So, syempre, since dalawa yung primary 1, 6 yung total number of hydrogens doon. Isa lang yung primary 2, so 3 lang yung exchangeable hydrogens. Isa lang yung secondary, so 2 yung exchangeable hydrogens niya. And isa lang yung tertiary, so isa lang din yung kanyang exchangeable hydrogens. So, the relative rates, ilalagay din natin. So, ang relative rate sa primary ay 1 kapag monochlorination, 3.8 kapag chlorination ng secondary carbon, 5 kapag chlorination ng tertiary carbon. Kapag bromination naman, 1 kapag primary, 82 kapag secondary, 1,600 kapag tertiary. Okay? So, all we need to do is to multiply. Okay? So, i-multiply natin yung relative rates. So, i-multiply lang natin yung 6. Okay? Yung 6 tsaka yung 1 kapag chlorination. So, 6 times 1, 6 kapag monochlorination. 6 times 1, 6 pa din pag monobromination. So, sa primary 2, 3 times 1 is 3. Okay? 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 1 is 3 din kapag bromination. So, sa secondary naman, okay? So, 3.8 yung rate of secondary carbon chlorination times 2, dalawa yung kanyang exchangeable hydrogens. So, that's 7.6. Okay? So, kapag ka naman bromination ng secondary carbon ng alkane na ito, 82 times 2. So, that's 164. Okay? Tapos, kapag naman sa tertiary carbon, 1,600 times 1. Okay, that's 1,600 for the bromination. 5 times 1 is 5 kapag monochlorination ng tertiary carbon na yon. So, ang gagawin natin, i-add natin yung lahat ng ito. Okay? So, 6 plus 3 plus 7.6 plus 5 is 21.6. Yan yung summation for the monochlorination. So, 6 plus 3 plus 164 plus 1,600 is 1,773 naman kapag monobromination. So, ang gagawin lang natin, i-divide natin yung 6, okay, sa 21.6 times 100 sa chlorination ng primary 1. So, ang yield, okay, ng primary 1 chlorination is 27.77%. So, kapag nag-chlorinate ka dito sa primary 1, the yield of those monochlorinated products is 27.77%. Dito naman, sa primary 2, dito naman yun, okay, yung yield ng monochlorination sa primary 2 ay 3 over 21.6 times 100. Okay? So, 3 over 21.6 times 100, that's 13.89%. So, 13.89% yung monochlorinated product sa primary 2. Dito naman sa secondary, okay, 7.6, this value, divided by 21.6 times 100, 35.19%. So, yung product ng monochlorination dito sa secondary is 35.19%. Sa tertiary naman ay 5, okay, over 21.6 times 100, it's 23.15. Okay? So, dito, 23.15% yung yield ng tertiary carbon monochlorination product. Okay? So, 23.15% yield sa tertiary alkyl chloride, 35.19% doon sa secondary alkyl chloride. Dito naman ay 13.89% doon sa primary 2, okay, alkyl chloride. Tapos 27.7% doon sa monochlorinated na primary alkyl halide. Okay? So sa bromination naman, 6, okay, divided by 1773 times 100 is 0.03 or 0.3384. Okay, yung primary 1. So yung yield nito kapag monobromination is 0.3384% lang. Kapag primary 2 is 3 over 1773 times 100, 0.1692%. Kapag dito naman, 0.1692% lang yung yield. Kapag secondary, which is this one, okay, so 164 divided by 1773 times 100 is 9.25%. So ang yield nito ay almost 10% yung secondary. Okay? Sa tertiary, 1,600 divided by 1773 times 100 is 90.24%. So yung tertiary bromide mo na alkane or na alkyl halide na is 90.24% nung lahat ng yield ng products. Okay? So, most of your alkyl bromide is tertiary. Kasi siya yung 90.24% nung lahat ng yield mo ng products. Okay? So, ganyan mag-solve ng relative yields based dun sa relative rates and sa number of exchangeable hydrogens. Okay? So, as a summary, kapag ka nag-chlorinate ka nung 2-methylbutane, okay, 23.15% to, 13.89% si primary 2, 35.19% si secondary, at 27.7% si primary 1. 23.15 lang si tertiary. Compare natin dito sa secondary na 35.19. Mas marami yung secondary chlorinated products kaysa sa tertiary chlorinated products. Diba? So, kapag bromination naman, most of your yield is tertiary bromides. Okay? Tapos, 0.1692 and 0.3384 lang yung mga primary. Tapos 9.25% or almost 10% yung secondary. Ganyan ka-selective yung bromination compared sa chlorination. Okay? So, as a sample problem, we will determine the possible monochlorination products of the following compounds. This is an important first step. Kasi kung hindi nyo alam kung ilan yung possible monochlorination products, mahihirapan kayo mag-determine ng mga relative yields. Actually, the calculation part is the easy one. Kasi ang gagawin nyo na lang doon ay magde-determine kayo ng number of exchangeable hydrogens per carbon type. Okay? So, the important step here is to determine the number of types of carbon in the structure. So, let's count for number 1. So, this is number 1. Carbon number 1 or carbon type number 1, number 2, okay, 3, this is the third type, 4, and then 5. Okay, so meron tayong 5 types of carbon. So the products of this reaction kapag nag-monochlorination, okay, so lagyan natin Cl2, CCl4 para may solvent, tapos light. Okay, so product number 1 is this. Okay, so this number 1 plus Cl, this is number 2, plus number 3, plus number 4, okay, and finally, actually this is number 4, okay. Finally, we have number 5. Okay? Ayan. So, ayan na yung 5 monochlorinated products or 5 possible monochlorination products ng iyong monochlorination reaction with 1,2,3 trimethyl cyclopentane. So, kayo na yung bahalang mag-determine ng relative yields niya. Madali na lang to. You just have to determine the number of exchangeable hydrogens per carbon type. Okay? So, sa number 2, meron lang tayong dalawang types of carbon dyan. Yung nandito, okay, dalawa yan, and yung 4 na primary carbons. So, dalawa lang yung product natin. So, if we react this with Cl2, light, and CCl4, okay, ang product niya ay Cl, so this is number 1, plus Cl, this is number 2. Okay? So, sa number 3, okay, we will realize here that this is not accessible for halogenation kasi sila ay quaternary carbons. Tapos, ito ay puro primary carbons at lahat sila equivalent. So, kapag ka nag-monochlorinate ka niyan, okay, isa lang ang iyong magiging product. So, this is 100% yield, of course, kasi isang klase lang product yung nandyan. Okay? So, for the next videos, I will discuss reactions of cyclopropane. Okay? So, see you next video.